Morning. Happy Monday, holiday. It's not really a holiday, it feels like holiday time. Good morning, good morning. Alright. People, we have another excerpt from the Holy Koran of Moorish Temple of Sciences. This is Life and Works of Jesus in Egypt among the Gentiles. So as we have read, very, very shortly after Jesus was born, they went to Egypt with their mothers. I'm sure Joseph did accompany them. We had Jesus, John, and then Jesus' mother Mary and John's mother Elizabeth. And that's when really Mary and Elizabeth came into their formal education of, who they were, as well as their children and the mission that they were to carry out. So they were predestined to be in this location here in Zoan, Egypt. There, as Jesus grew up and he became a teen, he went and traveled all over. And he really discovered himself during this time. Now he is revisiting Zoan, where he was when he was a child, and he is reconvening with the members that he was first introduced to as a very, very young child. So it's a nice little reunion, if we will, about the people that really taught him originally, or taught his mothers originally, about his mission and his life's purpose. Excuse me, the throat. But this is chapter 13 of this book. Again, coming from that Aquarian gospel. This is where this is from. Also originally the Gospel of James as well. Some pieces and bits of knowledge were transcribed in that original old tale Gospel of James. So, without further ado, let us begin. We have Jesus in his, life and works of Jesus in Egypt among the Gentiles. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. We have Jesus with Elihu and Salome in Egypt. It tells the story of his journeys. Elihu and Salome praise Allah. Jesus goes into the temple in Helipolis and is received as a pupil. And Jesus came to Egyptland, and all was well. He tarried not upon the coast. He went at once to Zoan, home of Elihu and Salome, who 25 years before had taught his mother in their sacred school. And there was joy when he met these three. When last the son of Mary saw these sacred groves, he was a babe. And now a man, grown strong by buffeting of every kind, a teacher who had stirred the multitudes in many lands. And Jesus told the aged teachers all about his life, about his journeyings in foreign lands, about the meetings with the masters, and his kind receptions by the multitudes. Elihu and Salome heard his story with delight. They lifted up their eyes to heaven and said, Our Father God, Allah, let now thy servants go in peace, for we have seen the glory of Allah. And we have talked with him, the messenger of love, and of the covenant of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Through him shall the nations of the earth be blessed, through him, Emmanuel. And Jesus stayed in Zoan many days, and then went forth into the city of the sun that men called Helipolis. I think I spelled it wrong down here. I'm having some issues. Give me a second. Helipolis. Just bear with me on that. We might need to look up how that's pronounced, but Helipolis. And sought admission into the temple of Sacred Brotherhood. The council of the Brotherhood convened, and Jesus stood before the Hierophant. He answered all questions that were asked with clearness and with power. The Hierophant exclaimed, Rabboni of the Rabbinate, why come you here? Your wisdom is the wisdom of the gods. Why seek for wisdom? Why seek for wisdom in the halls of men? And Jesus said, In every way of life I would walk. In every hall of learning I would sit. The heights that any man has gained, these I would gain. What any man has suffered, I would meet, that I may know the griefs, the disappointments, and the sore temptations of my brother man, that I may know just how to succor those in need. I pray you, brothers, let me go into your dismal crypts, and I would pass the hardest of your tests. The hardest of your tests. The Master said, take then the vow of your secret brotherhood. And Jesus took the vow of the secret brotherhood. Again the Master spoke, he said, the greatest heights are gained by those who reach the greatest depths, and you shall reach the greatest depths. The guide then led the way, and in the fountain Jesus bathed. And when they had been and when he had been clothed in proper garb, he stood again before the Hierophant. And that's it. That's all we have for this chapter. The Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. And sorry if I'm talking a little bit fast this morning. We actually have a short Psalms after this, so it's not too rushed. So something interesting here too, we've mentioned the concept of having to reach the lowest of the lows, and sometimes that can spur a new growth within you, a new level of which is obtained. We've talked about that briefly, how that is important. Really trying to obtain a new level or a new height is also to reach the new low that you've never reached before. Uno momento. So, just so we're clear, the Hierophant is a person who is a priest, especially in ancient Greece, but obviously we do have Hierophants located in Egypt as well. And I know this mention of the secret brotherhood, that sounds a little bit secret society-like, and we might be shying away from that terminology. But what is a secret oath? Secret oath of brotherhood. Brotherhood. It's usually made in relation to faith-based precepts. It is, I should say, in relation to faith-based precepts. And we know this area, this region where people were teaching about the brotherhood of men and the peace to all people. This was a very faith-based school, I guess I could say school, right? And it says, a secret oath of brotherhood refers to a solemn vow of loyalty and commitment between two or more individuals. Signifies a deepened bond of friendship where they pledge to protect and support one another. Okay, so we have here, this isn't the original definition that I have. Give me 1 second. It's like I Google one thing at one time and then I'm getting different information here. Let's see, what did they actually call it? Take the vow, secret brother, the vow, right? Vow of brotherhood. Okay, I mean, now all I'm retrieving from the second Google search here is secret society. I mean, it was somewhat of a secret society due to the fact that their knowledge that they possessed, right, was not popular knowledge. Of course, it might seem like common and popular knowledge to us today because these are all things and concepts that we're familiar with, or at least we've heard before. But that means that these individuals did their job originally, right? But before, it was knowledge that was more, kept in these secret and dismal crypts. Bound together, sons of brotherhood, secrecy, oath of loyalty, brotherhood concept. Because all I'm getting right now is like Freemasonry and Illuminati and things like that. So I'm just gonna let this be. But this was a faith-based school, right? Preaching on love to one another, preaching on peace among each other. But we're gonna leave this at this. Just a little brief synopsis on the returning to Egypt, returning to see Elihu and Salome after going through all these great travels as Jesus did. And it's great that we are reading about this now, right around the Christmas season. Let's go ahead and get into Psalms. I will catch you guys in just a second.